Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Robots in Disguise review for you today. This is Starscream. Now there's kind of a sub-brand here. It says Clash of the Transformers. And I have to admit I'm not up on the show 100%. I've seen the first handful of episodes from the second season. So I'm not sure if this is kind of going on in the show or not. But Clash of the Transformers seems to be kind of a bit of a sub-line of the Robots in Disguise. You can see here it says Minicon Weaponizers, which is another thing that they're starting, where instead of just having the Minicons kind of transform into the deployers, they're actually turning into weapons and things, guns and swords and hammers and things like that. So, like I said, I don't know if Starscream's on the show or not yet. I haven't seen him. Basically, you have robot mode, jet mode, instructions for transformation here on the side. Pretty cool artwork up here. I like that a lot. Let me zoom up a little bit there. There we go. But yeah, the Robots in Disguise packaging doesn't really have bios for the characters the way that the Generations line does. So we'll go ahead, we'll bust Starscream out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. So taking a look at Starscream out of the packaging here, real quick, he comes with these two little blasters. They're very simple. They're pretty much identical. They're just little guns. He does have some ports on the side of his arms here, so I'm going to go ahead and just pop them in there to give you kind of a more traditional Starscream look, since he usually has blasters on his forearms. But I wanted to at least point them out that they can come off because you can store them somewhere different in vehicle mode. But I kind of like the look of him. Definitely love the color scheme, the red, the blue, the gray, it all works pretty well. The yellow here for the cockpit. He's got these wings on the back, and I kind of think they're neat in the way that I kind of like them like this. Almost like a little bit of a cape on the back. And I'm starting to notice that the ball joints in the ankles, in the waist are a little loose, but we'll get to that. So I kind of like them with this look, but you can even rotate them up if you want them something like that. Like if you want to have them crazy wings on the top. Or you can kind of fold them all the way down and they kind of come together to form like a backpack. So I think that's pretty neat that you have a lot of versatility there. You have a lot of different poses you can use with the wings and get kind of three distinct looks. So as you can see, the ball joints for the hips on mine are ridiculously loose, which is a bummer. Like if you can get him to stand, he'll stand, but then if you kind of move him at all, he likes to splay out and do a split and kind of fall over. So it's not insurmountable, but it's definitely a problem. But for posability wise, the head can move from side to side. You have a swivel here in the shoulder as well as a swivel here. There's kind of two shoulder joints. One where the kind of shoulder pad meets the red, and then where the arm connects inside the shoulder pad. You have a ball joint at the elbow. The fist doesn't move, or I should say the wrist doesn't move, but it folds inside for the transformation. No waist articulation, ball joint in the hip. Then there's a thigh swivel below that, and then pretty much 90 degrees in the knee. And then you have some ankle movement here, but that's mostly for the transformation. So really the only problem is the hips are loose, but that might just be mine. I'm not 100% sure about that. He has the code here for the app game. If you're into that sort of thing, go to town. From the back, pretty simplistic, hollow legs. A little bit of a backpack with the nose cone and the wings. But really not too bad kibble-wise. I don't think it gets in the way. And like I said, I really like the versatility with the wings. You can really get some cool poses with that. But overall, I really do like the robot mode. I think it looks pretty good. The only problem, of course, is the loose ball joints. But again, hopefully that's just mine. I haven't really heard it's a common complaint with this figure. We'll have to find out and see. Also, I should mention that this guy's a Toys R Us exclusive right now. I don't know if that'll stay forever or if a slightly different version of this guy will come out other places. Of course, he's Starscream, so it wouldn't surprise me if he gets repainted as Thundercracker and Skywarp. And they could be either Toys R Us exclusives or available other places. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, I like the aesthetic, and I like the posability in the robot mode, so I like it a lot. It looks pretty good. We'll move on to the transformation. So the transformation is a little difficult to master at first. It's not terribly difficult, it's just a little wonky. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the guns. You can start by pegging. You can see the tabs in between his legs. You can peg them together. You're going to come around. Well, first of all, you can flip the hands into the forearms, just like that. You can come around to the back, and he kind of has this backpack piece that swivels down. It kind of clips to the sides. There's real tiny little tab here and here that kind of clips to the inside of this, so just be careful when you're pulling it back. So you unclip that, then you can swivel this down, and you can see that there's enough room that you can get the nose cone past. So then you're going to hinge this up, and that's just going to cover over Starscream's head. Very simple, just like that. You're going to accordion the legs in. There's a joint underneath here. You can see it right there and there, where that's going to fold down like that. And then you're going to bring that and accordion it down, get the legs in place. At that point, you can kind of tilt the feet back as far as they'll go. And that's pretty much as far as they go. Don't bring the wings up yet. You want to unhook these shoulder joints, the whole red piece. You can see it's actually this piece in the back here. And then that's going to rotate down. Now you can see this big hole here on the side of the leg. This red piece is actually going to fit into that. So you can see that slides down. And then if you come around to the back, you can see the little tab where that's going to clip in. It's a little tight, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. And a little bit of force, but don't have to force it too much. Okay, so once those are in, it's going to look something like that. You can kind of just put the arms off to the side for now. Now you can finally bring this piece back. Make sure the wings are out of the way. And that's going to come all the way up. And then you're going to see there's a little hole there, and there's a peg here on the wing. So that's going to come in and clip in. Just like that. Then you come around to the back, and you're going to turn these 90 degrees inward, and you can see there's kind of some tabs sticking out here, and then there's a little bit of holes here on the forearm, and you're just going to kind of bring that over and just loosely peg that on there just to kind of keep it in place. And it kind of works out because the big shoulder pads are now perfectly in line with the wings, so you don't really notice them. Now at this point, if you want, you could put the guns back in the forearms where they were, but the directions recommend you put them here at the tips of the wings. And I do too, I think that looks better. And there you go, there's a transformation Starscream into vehicle mode. So taking a closer look at this vehicle mode, it doesn't really have landing gear to speak of, but it has this tab that sticks down, and everything else just kind of makes it lay. So I mean, it does kind of stand up. It's not going to fall over at all just because of the width and the back end here of the jet mode. And I think it's funny that Robots in Disguise is like a sequel to Prime, but they definitely went back to animated for this vehicle mode. It really reminds me of the wings and the cockpit of Starscream's animated mode. It's kind of like a hybrid between his animated and original Prime design, which I think is pretty neat. Otherwise, there's not really much else to do in this vehicle mode. Like I said, you can clip the guns in 2 different places. But stylistically, I like it. I think it does look good. And again, you have just enough red and blue and gray. And the yellow of the cockpit is really nicely painted. So I think they did a pretty good job. Because in this mode, you definitely want gray to be the primary color. But the red, there's just enough red and blue to keep it interesting. It doesn't look really dull. So I really do like this vehicle mode. So I actually like this figure a lot more than I thought I was going to. The robot mode is cool. I like the ability to pose the wings in kind of different, areas to kind of give it a little bit more character, or maybe even try to convey emotion with the wings. I think will be something neat to try to do. I love the balance of color. The vehicle mode is very stylized, and I like that a lot. I don't know, it just fits well into the Robots in Disguise line. Starscream's a classic character, so it's always fun to get another representation of him. I don't know, I think it works. It definitely works as a deluxe. Right now, it's a Toys R Us exclusive. I don't know if that'll change in the future. I know with Megatronus, he was a Toys R Us exclusive, and then they slightly remolded the head, and then he was available everywhere else. So I don't know if something like that will happen again. Only time will tell. But I feel like, you know, Toys R Us is prevalent enough where you can try to get it on their website. I recommend picking them up. If you've been collecting the Robots in Disguise stuff, this is kind of our first Decepticon whose robot mode or alt mode isn't inspired by an animal. So it'll be interesting to see how he fits into the show, if he is going to make it into the show. Yeah, I think it's a nice figure. It's a good representation of Starscream. Only problem is the loose ball joints for the hips, but I'm really hoping that's only my figure. I'm hoping that's not a, you know, toy or product-wide problem. I'm hoping it's just mine. Again, I haven't seen too many reviews of this guy yet, so I'll have to wait and see on that as well. Just be wary if you're picking him up. That might be an issue that you run into. But everything else about this figure, I really enjoy. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Robots in Disguise, Clash of the Transformers, Starscream, and thank you so much for watching.